There is something funny about attraction. Sometimes the person getting the most attention in the room is not the loudest person. They are not trying to look rich. They are not walking around checking who is watching them. They may even be sitting quietly, drinking their coffee, minding their own business. And somehow, people keep looking at them. You know that person. Maybe you have seen them at a supermarket. Maybe at church. Maybe at the gym. Maybe after retirement, when life becomes a little quieter and you suddenly have more time to notice people around you. And here is the interesting part. Sometimes you are that person, but you don't know it. You are thinking, me? Attractive? Please. At this age? Oh yes. And I'm not talking only about having a nice face. I'm talking about something much deeper. The kind of attraction that makes people feel comfortable around you. The kind that makes someone remember you after a short conversation. The kind that makes people want to sit beside you even when there are 10 other empty chairs. Carl Jung spent a lot of time thinking about the hidden parts of human behavior. And one thing psychology keeps showing us is that attraction is not only about appearance. It is also about energy, confidence, emotional control, curiosity, and the way you make people feel. So today, let's talk about 8 secret behaviors that may reveal you're much more attractive than you think. And number 8. Honestly, number 8 is the one people usually don't notice in themselves. So let's get into it. Number 1. You don't need everyone to like you. This is one of the strongest signs. You can walk into a room and not immediately start thinking, do they like me? Did I say the right thing? Why didn't that person smile at me? Why hasn't that person replied to my message? You have reached a point where you say, well, if they like me, beautiful. If they don't, I'll still sleep tonight. That is attractive. Very attractive. Because there is something powerful about a person who is comfortable being themselves. Think about life after retirement. You don't have to impress the whole neighborhood anymore. You don't have to prove that you are the busiest person alive. You can wear your comfortable clothes, take your morning walk, sit outside, read something you enjoy, cook what you like, and if somebody doesn't understand your lifestyle, that's okay. You are not running for president of the neighborhood. You are simply living. And people notice that freedom. The funny thing is, the less you desperately chase approval, the more naturally people may give you respect. You don't have to announce confidence. Your behavior announces it for you. And if you recognize yourself here, tell me in the comments, I don't chase approval anymore. Let's see how many people have reached that beautiful stage of life. Number 2. People start telling you personal things. Have you ever had somebody you've barely known suddenly start telling you their whole life story? You're sitting there having a normal conversation. Then suddenly, my marriage was difficult. My son hasn't called me in 3 months. I've always wanted to travel. I never told anyone this, but... And you're sitting there thinking, hold on, I thought we were talking about the weather. This happens because some people feel safe around you, and safety is deeply attractive. You don't make people feel like they're being judged. You don't immediately turn their story into your story. You listen. You let them finish. You don't need to win every conversation. That little behavior can make you extremely attractive, because people don't always remember exactly what you said. They remember how they felt around you. Maybe someone meets you for 10 minutes and walks away thinking, I don't know what it is about that person, but I really like being around them. That's not an accident. There is something in your presence, and sometimes your greatest attractive quality isn't your face. It's the fact that people can breathe around you. Number 3. You know how to walk away. This one is powerful. Attractive people understand that not every situation deserves their energy. Someone is rude. You don't have to fight. Someone misunderstands you. You don't have to write a 5-page explanation. Someone keeps disrespecting you. You don't have to stand there begging them to change. Sometimes you simply say, "Okay," and you move. That little word can carry a lot of power, especially as you get older. You start realizing that peace is expensive. You don't want to spend it everywhere. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't have to answer every message immediately. You don't have to prove that you are right. You don't have to chase somebody who has already decided to walk away. And here's the strange thing. When you stop chasing people, some people suddenly become more interested in you. Why? Because boundaries create respect. You are saying without saying it, "I value myself." That is attractive. Number 4, you still get excited about little things. This one is beautiful. Maybe you get excited about a good cup of coffee. Maybe you discover a new song and suddenly you're 25 again. Maybe you find a great little restaurant. Maybe you learn how to use some new technology and feel like you've just joined the future. Maybe you wake up and say, "Today I'm going for a walk." Nothing dramatic, nothing expensive, just life. That curiosity keeps something alive inside you, and people can feel it. There is a big difference between someone who says, "Nothing interests me anymore," and someone who says, "I've never tried that. Let's see." The second person has a different energy. They are still meeting life, and that is incredibly attractive. You don't need to pretend to be young. You don't need to dress like you're 25. You don't need to use every new slang word. Please don't. You might hurt yourself trying to say it. Just stay curious. Ask questions. Try something new. Learn. Explore. Let life surprise you. A person who is still fascinated by life has a certain sparkle that age cannot remove. Number 5, you can be alone without feeling lonely. This is a big one. There is a difference between being alone and being desperate not to be alone. A person who can enjoy their own company has something special. They can sit quietly, take a walk, watch a movie, cook dinner, read, listen to music. Spend a Sunday afternoon without needing somebody to constantly entertain them. That doesn't mean they don't love people. It means they don't need people to prove that they matter. And this is where attraction gets interesting. When you enjoy your own company, you stop entering relationships from desperation. You enter them from choice. You're not saying, "Please stay because I can't be alone." You're saying, "I enjoy having you here, but I am also okay with myself." That's a completely different energy, and people feel the difference. Number 6, you don't try too hard to look attractive. Now this one might sound strange, but think about it. Have you ever seen someone trying so hard to look cool that they became less cool? They're adjusting their clothes every 30 seconds, checking the mirror, checking the phone, checking who is looking, trying to sound impressive, trying to prove they have money, trying to show everybody how important they are. You can feel the effort, but someone who is comfortable in their own skin? Different. They don't constantly perform. They don't need to tell you how successful they are. They don't need to announce how many people want them. They simply exist. And somehow, that is more attractive. The best part, you can become more attractive simply by relaxing. Stop trying to impress everybody. Stop comparing yourself to people on social media. Stop looking at someone else's life and thinking you are behind. Your life is not a competition. You're allowed to be exactly where you are. Number 7, you make people feel seen. This might be one of the most beautiful forms of attraction. You remember small things. Someone tells you their favorite food. You remember it. Someone tells you they have an important appointment. You ask them later, "How did it go?" Someone says they haven't been sleeping well. You check on them. Small things. But they matter. Because in a world where everybody is trying to be noticed, the person who notices others becomes very special. Imagine sitting with someone and they put their phone away. They look at you. They listen. They don't keep scanning the room for somebody more interesting. For those few minutes, you have their full attention. That feels good. And that is why attraction isn't always about beauty. Sometimes attraction is simply, I feel important when I'm around you. You can have wrinkles, grey hair, a few extra pounds. You can be 60, 70, 80, and still have that quality. Actually, sometimes age makes it stronger because you've learned what really matters. Number 8. You have a quiet confidence. Now we come to the big one. Quiet confidence. Not arrogance, not, I'm better than everyone. No. Quiet confidence sounds more like, I know who I am. I know what I value. I know what I won't accept. And I don't need to explain myself every 5 minutes. That's powerful. You don't enter a room looking for attention, but somehow attention finds you. You don't speak the most, but when you speak, people listen. You don't have to prove your intelligence. You don't have to tell everyone you've lived a long life. Your stories already show it. And maybe this is why some people become more attractive as they get older. They finally stop performing. They stop trying to become somebody else. They become themselves. And that is where real confidence begins. Carl Jung spoke often about becoming more fully yourself, rather than simply living according to the expectations of others. And maybe that's the real secret here. Attraction isn't always about becoming more impressive. Sometimes it's about becoming more comfortable with who you already are. So let's bring all 8 together. You may be more attractive than you think if you don't need everyone to like you. People feel safe enough to open up to you. You know when to walk away. You still get excited about little things. You enjoy your own company. You don't try too hard to impress people. You make others feel seen. And you carry that quiet confidence that says, I am comfortable being me. Now here's something I want you to think about tonight. Maybe you've spent years looking at attraction from the outside. Your face, your body, your clothes, your age, your hair. But maybe you've been measuring the wrong thing, because some of the most attractive people you'll ever meet are not the people who look perfect. They're the people who make you feel comfortable, respected, understood, and alive. That's something no expensive cream can buy, and no mirror can show you. So if you recognized yourself in even 3 of these 8 behaviors, don't ignore that. You might be carrying something much more powerful than you realize. And if you recognized yourself in all 8, well, maybe you should stop walking around thinking nobody notices you, because somebody probably does. Now I want you to do something fun. Tell me in the comments. Which number sounds most like you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8? Don't overthink it. Just drop the number. And if you're watching this after retirement, tell me something else. What is one thing you stopped caring about as you got older? Because I have a feeling the answers are going to be very interesting. And if you enjoyed this conversation, subscribe to the channel. We're not here to make you feel old. We're here to remind you that there is still so much life, confidence, beauty, and joy in you. You don't have to become younger. You just have to become more you. And honestly, that might be the most attractive thing of all.